Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest is showing us how to prepare the perfect mushroom and asparagus frittata from her new book, Uncomplicated, Taking the Stress Out of Home Cooking. Oh, boy. Now, that's a good name for a book. Please welcome Claire Tansey to our home. We're so glad to have you. Welcome, Claire.
Thank you.
As you can see, Amelia stuck around because she smelled this and she said, oh, boy, this smells like hygge.
More hygge.
More hygge.
Amazing.
And Maria and Orly don't even know what that means, but they were very happy because they love the smell of it as well. All right, so Claire, you call this your frittata, basically whatever's in the fridge frittata.
It's sort of whatever's in the fridge. As long as you have eggs, a little bit of cheese, and some onions, you can make this frittata. Because does this happen to you? You come home, it's a weeknight, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is for supper?
Yes.
There's nothing in the fridge, there's nothing in the pantry.
And you're exhausted from working all day.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
But you need to make something, and so this is such an easy way to do it. I've always got eggs. I always have some vegetable at the bottom of the crisper.
Don't we all? And this is perfect also for the day after Christmas.
Fantastic.
When everybody's so exhausted and, then you have something, I'll just throw it, whatever's left over.
Yeah, and it's great to make ahead as well. Like, it's good hot, but it's also good at room temperature.
So if you have relatives coming over, friends.
Get that done in advance.
Okay.
So that's just eggs, a little bit of milk, and we're going to put in a little bit of salt as well.
Okay.
There
and
we
over
go.
here, you've already sauteed your onions and your mushrooms.
Yes, so onions and mushrooms, again, if you've got another vegetable in there, fantastic. I happen to have some asparagus here, so we're going to add that.
Okay.
And then once that does its little dance around here, I love using this pan as well. This is your classic cast iron frying pan. Start it on the stovetop and then put it into the oven.
So nice.
And then, you know what? Walk it to the table and serve it right out of the cast iron frying pan.
Beautiful, isn't it?
I know, it's lovely. And it just looks easy. Okay, so now,
Get that out.
no, thank you very much,
very
kitchen
welcome.
assistant. So then that just goes over top.
I mean, you were not kidding. This is no fuss.
right now.
Talk about uncomplicated. So this is actually from your debut cookbook, Uncomplicated. What was the inspiration behind this book?
Well, do you know what? I've been in the food business for 20 years, but I'm also a busy working mom, and getting that home-cooked, tasty dinner on the table every night, really important to me, but at the same time, not always that easy.
Right.
So I kind of wanted to capture that. Uncomplicated recipes are ones that are easy to shop for, easy to cook. You don't need special ingredients. You don't need
it's not
special tools.
fancy.
It's not fancy, but you know what? It's the real, simple, delicious foods that we love. That we
Nothing
really,
with a
really
French
love.
name that makes you feel bad about yourself.
Well, even if it has a French name, then you just think of it as a slightly sexier version.
There you go. We think I can never make this. Then we add some goat cheese.
Yes, so a little bit of goat cheese on top. And of course, you can use whatever cheese you've got. Feta cheese is really good in this. A bit of ricotta, even just mozzarella or feta, or cheddar, whatever you got. A little bit of that.
Whatever you have.
And then
Ricotta, would you just try to sprinkle it?
kind of daub it a little bit,
Okay.
because sometimes it can be kind of wet, right?
Yeah.
But it'd be absolutely fine.
Okay, so now we put this in the oven.
Yes, we
At
do.
what temperature?
350. And in 5 minutes.
That's it? Quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you're gonna turn it. Then you're gonna turn on the broiler.
Okay. Ooh.
I know.
For
and
how
then-
long on the broiler?
For like 2 minutes.
Okay, but
now
probably
look
watch it,
at
right?
this. Yeah, of course you gotta watch it. Anytime you're using the broiler, you want to watch it.
Oh my gosh,
And then
beautiful.
look at that gorgeous thing. All right.
You're right. Just take it straight to the dinner table or the breakfast.
seems so
Actually,
doable.
you could eat this breakfast, lunch, dinner anytime.
I thought you were gonna say you could eat this whole thing by yourself.
Well, I
Why,
could.
yes, you could. You could.
That's
You know what?
true.
You can even put it in a sandwich. Like, it is just such an easy thing to have and a great thing to have in the fridge for leftovers, for those sort of lazy days when you think, oh, I want something for lunch, but I don't really know.
And now I know that they've given us this, but I really want to eat straight out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this.
Oh,
in.
You said,
just going for
you
it.
said how busy you are, but you still make time to cook every night with your husband, right at home? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so we
amazing.
have a little 6-year-old son, and it's
buddy.
just the best part of my day, coming home and sitting together. That's how I grew up, right? Like, I don't know how my mom did it. Oh, my little person, my little fella,
Does
Thomas.
he like to cook with you?
Well, he does, but then he doesn't always necessarily like to eat.
Oh, well.
But you know what? Yeah, you know what? We'll get there. We'll get there. We have a great time together. We have good conversation, and
Oh, he likes making cookies.
Who
Yeah,
doesn't like
exactly.
making
He'll eat those cookies,
right?
won't he?
He'll eat all the sprinkles. But it's such a lovely time for us just to sit together. No screens, no nothing.
But I honestly love that you say that, because someone who has been in the food business as a chef for 20 years, it's a lot of times it's the cobbler's kids have no shoes.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Because you get home and you're like, oh my gosh, I order.
Of course, I've been doing it all day. Well, I'm not going to do it at home.
Exactly,
Right,
totally.
exactly. So
Totally.
good for you to make sure that you...
It's important to me, right? And we always know that sitting down to a family dinner just leads to more balance.
Yeah, that time together
right.
is
So
absolutely
important.
Yeah.
Claire, I'll
Well,
tell you
this is
what, I'll come to
delicious.
your family dinner
Hooray!
anytime.
Yes,
You're welcome
thank
to
you
come
very much. Thanks for
anytime.
making it so user-friendly, too. I feel like
So good. You can make this camera.
I mean,
could.
that's the real telltale sign, isn't it?